How are we doing, guys? ALTV. So, Leeds versus Sheffield Wednesday, match preview of the game. Massive game this, and massive opportunities to get ourselves back to winning ways. You know, of course, we're in an absolutely fantastic position in the league. It's been a fantastic season so far, but we can't ignore the fact that the last couple of weeks or so in general, we kind of lost form a little bit. We've played some very, very good teams, but now's the opportunity to get ourselves back to winning ways. You know, we're playing a Sheffield Wednesday team that is a good team, no mistake about that. Got some very good players in the team: Barry Bannon, Luagno, Kadeem Harris, you know, just to name a few. Kieran Westwood, Tom Lees, you know, good players, solid players at this level, experienced players at this level. So it's a tough game this, but it's a game we need to win if we want to finish in the top two. Simple as that. You know, it's not going to be any easier. You know, as the season goes on, it's just going to get harder and harder and harder. We've got to accept that. The pressure's going to get higher and higher. You know, there's going to be some teams that are probably going to rise from being that relatively mid-table and going to turn into good teams. You know, look at Brentford, look at Nottingham Forest, look at Fulham, all potentially, you know, with a solid January window behind them. They keep some of their best players. They're possibly going to put a run of form together. So let's not make any mistake about it. Look, 9 points, 6 points, whatever it is, whatever you want to say it is. You know, if Forest win the game, it goes to 6 points, etc., etc. It's still a long, long way to go. Let's make no mistake about it. But I do feel comfortable because of the way we're playing our football at the minute. You know, the way, over the last game and a half, I think we've been absolutely fantastic. Performance-wise, I think we have been spot on. But I'm just going to start with the team I go with in this game, first of all. And this team, I don't need to read too much into it, like I'm saying this player's better than that player, we need to get rid of this player, etc, etc. But I would make changes in this game. I would 100% make changes in reaction to the way we played over the last game and a half, and sort of the way the team was going before the last game and a half, if that makes sense. So sort of like, you know, you're talking about the Birmingham game, the Cardiff game, the Fulham game, the Preston game, etc, etc, you know what I mean. So Kiko in goal, absolutely simple for that one. But I think Illan Meslier has put, I say it's simple, Illan Meslier will have put some pressure on Kiko Castillo, and that can only be a good thing. You're having competition between your goalkeepers has to be considered a good thing at the end of the day. Right back, Luke Ayling. Length centre backs is where we'll make a bit of a change in terms of what has been the common centre back partnership. I'd go with Ben White and Gaetano Berardi. Now we'll bring Gaetano Berardi in for this game. It might be a very controversial point of view, and I might get a bit of stick in the comments for it, but at the end of the day, I'm making this decision based on the last game. You know, Berardi was absolutely solid against Alexander Lacazette, and I think you have to reward that kind of performance. You have to reward a performance like that in a really tough game. He was playing the ball well at the back, he looked on top, he looked on form, and yeah, I think he played really well in that game and looked solid, and it has to be a response to the way we were defending before, you know, sort of this recent kind of last 2 games or so. You know, look at Birmingham, Cardiff, Fulham. You know, I've not got anything against Liam Cooper, but I think the last 2, 3, 4 games he's played, he's not looked on it. I think maybe, just purely from what I've seen of his performances, maybe he was rushed in a little bit too quickly. Maybe. I'm not criticising anyone here, I'm just saying what I've seen. He just seems not quite on it in comparison to what we've become accustomed to with Liam Cooper over the sort of last 18 months or so. So for me, I would make that change. I would bring Berardi in for this game. And look, don't take this as me saying Berardi's better than Cooper. You know, things change over a season. You know, runs of form from individual players, suspensions, injuries, etc, etc. For me, I'd bring in Berra for this game. You know, just to see if we can tighten up at the back a little bit in general. You know, we can stop conceding daft goals. And that's what we've been doing for so long over the last sort of 6 weeks or so. So I would make that change. Another change I'd make is at left back. I would bring in Barry Douglas for this game, because I think over the last game and a half he's been absolutely fantastic. And once again, I think you have to reward those kind of performances. You know, I think if we've had anyone really command that left back spot this season, Stewie Dallas has had a go, Alioski's had a go, pretty much everyone's had a go at some point. But yeah, no one's really commanded it. But for me, Barry Douglas is probably a player you look at and think he could command that position. If he gets a run of games, he could really command that position. So for me, Barry Douglas comes into for this game. I think defensively he was absolutely spot on against Pepe and Matty Phillips. I thought he did a solid job against both. And yeah, I would bring in Barry Douglas for this game. I think his passing quality is fantastic. I think he's one of the best passers of the ball in the team. He will help us playing the ball out of the back against the Sheffield Wednesday high press, because I'm anticipating a very sort of similar set of tactics to what the last game we played against Sheffield Wednesday. They'll press high up the pitch and then leave the defence quite deep, leaving quite big spaces, but 2 barriers for us to break down. The high press on our defence, and then the keeping it quite tight at the back of themselves to stop us playing through them and creating chances, you know, regular chances in the game. But yeah, I'll go on to that as the video goes on. Again, Oscar Marriott, once again, going off topic. But for me, Barry Douglas, for his crossing quality, everything he brings to that left-hand side, I just feel like left-hand side just looks a little bit better when Barry Douglas is there. I just think his quality has shone, the last couple of games. He does look fit, he does look fresh. And he looks like he did in the first half of last season, because you have to consider the injuries he's had. He's had some massive injuries. He's had some really, really big injuries. Certainly second half of the season, and it's taken a while to recover from. He showed glimpses of his quality first half of the season, sort of first 4 or 5 games, got another injury, which is obviously a blow, and now he's hopefully going to get a chance. For me, it is something I really want to see more than anything, is Barry Douglas getting a run in this team to show his quality at left back, and he can be our left back in this team to help us push for the top 2. That's what you want to see. You want to see a top quality left back in the team, because that is the one area where I think we've lacked pretty much all season, is a solid out and out left back left back in this team. Holding midfield, Calvin Phillips, don't need to explain that. Right hand side, Helder Costa, Matthijs Klick in the middle, again, don't need to explain any of them. But then the other central midfield role, of course, before filming this video, it's emerged that Pablo, Jamie Shackleton could be available for this game. Whether they're ready to start the game or not, I'm not sure. I think Stuart Dallas, you have to give him credit. He's not a central midfielder. He's not a central midfielder. We've all said it. But he's given it a real good go, and he's shown real tenacity. And yeah, certain aspects technically, he's not, cut out to be a central midfielder. But if Shackleton and Pablo aren't quite fully fit, it's a difficult one to argue against playing Stuart Dallas in that position, even if he's out of position. So for me, Stuart Dallas will stay in central midfield on the basis that Jamie Shackleton and Pablo Hernandez are only just back from injury. Obviously, we've got them on the bench. We can change things quickly if it's not quite going well. Left-hand side, Jack Harrison for me. And up top, Patrick Bamford. So very few of those I need to explain, to be fair. The only real controversial points I'm making is Barry Douglas coming in after their cup performances. And you could even make a case for Meslier as well, because let's not make any mistake about it. Kiko has been in a pretty poor run of form recently. He has made a lot of mistakes, and Meslier looks absolutely solid against Arsenal. But for me, I think 2 changes are enough, just to freshen the team up a little bit, try and tighten us up at the back again. Let's make ourselves tight at the back again. We have conceded some really, really daft goals recently. Let's try and just not gift Sheffield Wednesday any goals. So that's the last thing we want to do. The last thing we want to do in this game is give Sheffield Wednesday a goal, because they can sit back and keep things really tight. They have got quality defenders in that team who can keep it tight. And it's a Gary Monk tactic as well. He specialises in games like this, getting the early goal and keeping things tight. That's the last thing we want to do against Gary Monk's team. So we've done it twice against him in the last sort of 18 months. Birmingham away, Birmingham at home last season. And then obviously Sheffield Wednesday away. I think we scored 1 to 3 games against the Gary Monk team. So we know it's going to be very, very difficult to break down. And they're going to really make it difficult for us to play out the back and try and get counter-attacking opportunities from us losing the ball in our own half of the pitch. We know what's coming. We do know what's coming from this Gary Monk team. I'm not criticising the tactics. They're not the most easy on the eye. But they have proven to be effective at Ellen Road or against the Marcelo Bielsa team. So you have to give them credit for that. It's just about having that quality to play through that. If Matthijs Klick's on form, I think that's something we can sort of really counteract. Play the ball at the back and break down the Sheffield Wednesday team. With his own quality on the ball, the way he can dictate the game and control the game. That's what we need Matthijs Klick to do in this game. Control it and be absolutely on it, like he was against West Brom, like he was against Arsenal, and he has been for most of the season. Just need him absolutely on it. Obviously, we've got Pablo as an option off the bench. Jamie Shackleton has a bit of energy off the bench as well. With his own technical quality. Oh, I've got my words mixed up there. His own technical quality as well. But yeah, that's the thing. That is something I'm very sort of passionate about, that we do just stick to our principles. That we did against flipping heck, getting the words all mixed up here, trying to rush this preview. But as long as we try and play at the back, like we did against West Brom, like we did against Arsenal, I think we'll be okay. We showed that composure. That's what I really liked about those last 2 games. We've shown that composure. No panic. No worry about the circumstances or the consequences of losing the ball in your own half of the pitch. Just sticking to our philosophy and playing through the press. And that's what we've done fantastically well the last 2 games. And we've really set our stall out and dominated games away from home. 2 very, very tough away games. Probably the 2 toughest away games we'll play all season. So yeah, you have to be, that's why I feel confident, guys. I feel really confident. I'm looking forward to this game. It's an opportunity to get a win. Opportunity to get ourselves back on track. Try and build another gap on 3rd, on 4th, because it could be down to as low as 6 points if Forest win their game in hand. So let's not get too complacent, still a long way to go, but playing like we have the last 2 games, showing that confidence, no fear, that's the big thing as well, no fear, has to be very reassuring. But we know what Sheffield Wednesday are going to do against us. It's going to be the high press against that back 4, try and win the ball back on counters, Kadeem Harris's pace, and and go from there really. We've seen that off Sheffield Wednesday before, and they can press very well. Look at Barry Bannon, very good off the ball player, Barry Bannon, and good on the ball as well, to be fair. But there will be spaces for us to exploit in front of that defence. That defence will sit back very, very deep. The midfield will push up, and we've seen this with Gary Monk when he managed us. We got dominated a lot away from home under Gary Monk because of that big gap between the midfield and defence, where he's trying to press some parts of the pitch and sit back in others, and it doesn't really work all the time. And if you get the early goal, if we get the early goal, I do feel confident in this game. But let's not disrespect Sheffield Wednesday. They've got a lot of quality in this team. Fair, I'm not going to praise Gary Monk at all, but he does have tactically evidence that he can get results in these kind of games. Let's be honest, he did it for us. Look at Newcastle away, Fulham away. I don't know, we got results in those games when he managed us. We got absolutely dominated in both games. I've never seen a more one-sided game, to be honest, in the last sort of 2 or 3 years. We got results out of both of them, so it won't bother Gary Monk that he's not going to have much possession of the ball. They'll probably have less than 30% of the ball. And yeah, I think it's a game we will dominate. Can we be clinical, and can we stop making daft mistakes? If we do that, we give ourselves a massive platform to win this game. Because let's be honest, Gary Monk's teams have won games from our mistakes. Birmingham at home last season, Bailey Peacock-Farrell made 2 mistakes, gifted them the game. Went 2-0 down. You can't come back from 2-0 down against Gary Monk team. And then of course, away from home, Che Adams scored a good goal, but we defended it very poorly. We gifted Gary Monk teams goals. Let's not do it again. Let's learn from our lessons. Solid start, first goal. I feel confident in this game. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Make sure you check out Conor and Joe's previews of the game as well. See you later, guys.